All right, back into the routine and work day Wednesday, getting ready to roll. Guys were very attentive in the meetings and stuff. Good practice. Got to continue to build on that. We're getting ready to play a really good football team, and there's really no homecoming games in the National Football League, so every team is good, and they present some very challenging things. Have a lot of respect for Dan Quinn and everybody down there on how they've built that team and what they've been going about doing. We've got our work cut out for them. Some really good personnel there too. Our guys did a really good job, and coming in from Monday, building on Monday. A bunch of them were in around here yesterday doing the extra things on their own, on their days off, which is good. Today was a good start. Questions?
Just address, you lost two defensive starters for the rest of the season. Just what kind of a blow is
It's
that?
part of it is, and again, obviously it's next man up. Can't have any control over that. And when I addressed you guys on Monday about that, we'd see as the process occurred and all the testing and the evaluations occurred, and I feel for both those guys. I really do. And I care a lot about both of them. I care a lot about all these guys, but both those guys, they mean well, and we got to do what's right for them first, and then we got to have the next man up.
John Ward, he did not practice, we know, but
he had a good day today. I really anticipate him being fine tomorrow, but he had a good day today, and that was part of the process of what we wanted done. But he's really done well on all the things off the field to get ready for. We'll see how he practices tomorrow.
What do you lose when you don't have Christian Kirksey out there?
Well, the experience factor is always a part of anything you're doing at this very level. And he has things or has been through things that are common sense things to the league. As coaches, when they experience things. You don't have to go through every little detail. And his leadership is very good. He's a vocal guy. He's an inspirational guy. He's a fun guy, and very well respected on our team. And again, the next guy up has got to get ready to roll.
who is that?
We're going through all kinds of packages right now. We're getting ready for the packages, and we'll be ready by Sunday.
What did you think of what I know Gaines had the knee?
Say it again.
Gaines had the knee injury in training camp, so the injuries were with him throughout the season. But what did you think when he was able to?
Yeah, it's not an easy game, and E.J. and I go way back, and I smile on my face. He grew up not far away from where I grew up, and at the University of Missouri too when we brought him into the Rams. So I've been through a lot. He's a really tough player. He went through a couple of really tough things when we were together at the Rams too, and has overcome them. Just part of this game. It's not easy. I think that kind of is masked by a lot of people about what these guys got to do to bounce back from injuries, how they keep their body in shape and everything. Hope the best for him, and I'll always stay in contact with him as he goes throughout this process right here. But he's a good football player.
When he gets shut down for the final 7 games with a concussion, does that just speak to the severity of this one coming right?
I don't know that. To tell you the truth, I really don't know that. That's the protocol part of it. I really don't know all the details of that. But I do want what's best for him.
How are you handling your left tackle decision right now?
Each day, so it's good to see Des back, bounce back up and get ready to roll. And so now what we'll do is every day is an interview, and both of them are taking reps, and by the end of the week we'll make what's best. And it's good the fact you have depth. Guys can compete and get ready to roll.
What problems does a receiver of Julio Jones's caliber present for a defense?
Physically, he's very, very talented, and then the interest and the target value and the synergy that he has with the quarterback. We've got to be spot on. And as you guys have seen, from any numbers, from any breakdown, everything is how much he's targeted in the game. So they understand his playmaking ability. So do we. And so now it's a battle of wills, and we've got to do things that surround him, surround the ball, and make it as minimal as possible. But he's a very good football player. He's a very good, athletic, talented receiver.
There are only a few like him.
Yeah, really are. And I say this in every year, even behind the scenes, is that everybody at this level, everybody, if you make a roster, can play. And then there's a top 8, 10, 12 in the league that are different, and he's one of those guys at the very top of the league that's different. Athletically is different, so we've got our work cut out.
Where you would consider putting Gregg Robinson at right tackle?
We've been doing that, and he has been. We have been doing that since training camp and since he's got here, the mini camp, and so he's been flipping and moving around, doing all those type of things. So that's part of the process of making sure we're versatile enough going into the game. On, when you only have 7 guys or 8 guys that are up on game day, they have to play more than one position. So he can play more than one position. Yes.
Three-man competition for those 2 guys?
No. Right now is that and I'm letting Freddie and Bob handle that, and but we practice every week for the versatility of sometimes tackles got to play guards, sometimes guards got to play tackles. You got to do that, and I do the same thing on defense. Went through that last week, okay, on all of a sudden who had to play in some of the positions in the ball game. So we'll continue to be as versatile as possible and be ready to go, and you got to battle through that in the game.
If we asked you about Jamie Collins, he was on the bike too. What's his status?
Yeah, basically, and it had an ankle sprain, and and it was at this time, and also experience, made sure that he got ready to roll, and he'll be up and ready to roll tomorrow at practice.
Why didn't it work for Gregg Robinson as a high draft pick, and how is he different now?
I really don't, know the answer to that question. All I can tell you is that, I was there at the time, but that wasn't my focus, on that. But I can tell you that his focus has been good here. And sometimes, and it's always this way, I believe this with all my heart, sometimes there's a light that clicks on in their head and it becomes more important to them, to all of us in the room. You have a better chance that way. And it has to be important to you because there's good players here competing every day you have to compete against. And he's done well. He's handled the whole situation here well.
Joe Schobert look in his first
Good.
day back?
He did look good, and thought he bounced back fine, and I thought he moved from his coaching role the last few weeks right back into the playing role, and it was also good to see, the reaction of the players around him all of a sudden, how vocal he is and how much he knows, and simplifies the game and some of the alignment worlds for lots of other people around because he can get you lined up in a hurry.
We know you're a pretty fiery guy. We've seen it. We saw you on Hard Knocks joking, the Lawson's comment and all that. Since you've been up there with this seat, it seems like you're a little more calmer, whatever. I don't know. Is that because you feel this team needs that, or is that because of the seat?
I would say this, Pat, and as we, all of us in here, spend time through experience and everything, pretty much everything I do is premeditated, okay? And it's not me just going off the reservation to go off the reservation to make myself feel better. It's about the 5th time I've said something to somebody. So all of a sudden, how am I going to get it finally to register in some of their minds and stuff? And then there is a difference from being the warden inside the penitentiary of the defensive, room in there to being the head coach. It's different. I've been there before, other times, and so from that I've got to morph to help these guys. Okay, we all have to. Each person out there, each player, each coach, me first. Okay, I've got to do whatever's best to help the guys that are here, and trying to do that to the best that I can.
Think of how guys like Tanner Vallejo, Denzel Rice, who got thrown to the Wolves on Sunday, how'd they look?
Tanner did pretty good, didn't he? The 35 snaps that he played. Knew a lot about him before he ever got here. When he was coming out, we did a lot of work on him too. And when he first got here, one of the things we wanted to make sure was he was going to get thrown immediately into the special teams. So we focused everything we could, okay, to make sure all that was done. And then we have been incrementally packaging and getting him ready for the next time he had to be the next man up. Was happy for him, okay, and he'll be one of the guys this week that'll get some more plays in the packages that he's going to play. And then Denzel's been here, did the same thing too, and then got to package things for him.
Greg, we talked about that block punt Monday, and I'm wondering if you thought there was a need to make a coaching change. Do you have the authority in your role to do that?
Yeah, that hadn't even crossed. I'm trying to continue to do the things that we have to do here day by day.
But do you, if you wanted to?
You know, that's, you know, again, those are things I don't discuss here, and I'm just trying to get to a great Wednesday, Warrior Wednesday, Workout Wednesday, Workday Wednesday, get to Thursday.
Is part of your thinking on injuries and not talking about who will or won't start, is some of it strategic?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, don't need to know. They just don't need to know.
Greg, we haven't seen Demarius Randall practice on Wednesday, I think, since week 2. Was that,
either.
Yeah, does that have to do with you shutting him down on Sunday or conversation?
Yeah, and then in getting him back, and you know, and he's a tough guy. Getting him back. He had a good day today. Getting him back. Yes.
You said he thought he took a big jump from his last couple games until Sunday against Kansas City. Where did you see him make strides?
I think he's a very instinctual player. I said that early on. I've always said that. But you can also start to see comfort, you know, if you know, instinctually, you know, and it's not, he's never relaxed, but the air of he feels comfortable about what he's recognizing and being in front of the ball and being in front of the snap. That's important. And the guys that have played in it for so long, you know, from, you know, the 2-digit, you know, 10, 11, 12, you know, like Matt Ryan, there's not a lot of things that's going to come up in the game that Matt's never seen before. And that's always hard for a young guy. I do believe that Freddie and the guys did a really good job on, you know, making sure that things were good with him, and Baker was involved with exactly what kinds of plays they were too, but there was a good comfort level, and today's practice was even better.
I believe is the best.
Say it again.
Atlanta, I believe, is the best passing team in the league right now. Was Kansas City, even though Kansas City's a better rushing team than Atlanta, a good precursor almost for?
Atlanta's really good. You know, we've been playing those teams, you know, all year long. You know, all of a sudden, week by week, somebody jumps up, somebody jumps back, all that stuff. We've improved a lot here from year 1 to year 2 in the passing game. We got to do a better job tackling this week. We got to do that. And they present some very, very good things in the passing game, and we're going to have to do a good job with that, yes.